Hello guys and gals, this is the long-awaited Halloween special. This is what if Deku was Lestat. And yeah, this storyline will have similarities to the original movie of Interview with a Vampire. So just yeah, it's gonna have similarities to that, but there's gonna be a lot of differences as well. So yeah, I hope you all have a good day or night, wherever time zone is. I hope you like this movie special. I don't know how long it's gonna be until I end it. So yeah, now I know this one. I don't feel like put music on this one. This one will just be the Sweet Dreams Are Made of Dreams. Sweet dreams are made of screams. My bad. I'm kind of tired at the moment. I am making this on the night before Halloween. So yeah, I'm just doing my best here. Okay. There's that, and I don't know. Yeah, I hope you all like, subscribe, give me a comment in the comment section, because I am wanting to hit that 2K subscribers. I want to hit 2K very soon. Well, I'm not gonna hit very soon, but I really hope y'all hit it. Y'all know it's been a while since I've actually raised a big amount of subscribers. Y'all know. So come on, let's get that subscriber go. Let's get that subscriber and like go up. Cause barely anyone likes my videos, so I want y'all to start doing it. This I want the like go of around at least 20 likes by the end of the week. By next what's it called? Next Sunday. Yeah, next Sunday I want it to be at least 20 likes on this video. Okay, guys and girls, I hope y'all can do that for me. So yeah, I hope you'll do that. And yeah, I wasn't able to fulfill my goal. I lost track of how much time was left in what's it called, October. So yeah, I still got a lot of what if prologues to do, and I will do them 2 of them on Monday. I'll bring this out tomorrow. I got 2 more videos that's just waiting to be put out. I don't know in what order. But yeah, I hope you like that. So, but yeah, let me roll that intro out, motherfuckers. And let me get on with the video.
Sweet dreams are made of screams. Those who lost their minds will disagree. You travel the world on a 7D. Everybody's looking for someone, and they found you.
As we see a man fist fighting somebody in a bar, as we see 2 men, one man that has red hair, and let's just say he is pretty muscular, and we have more of a lean looking boy or man with blonde hair and yellowish eyes, as we see them fist fighting, as they're arguing about something, as we hear the blonde looking man yell, "Do it! Fucking do what you started!" as he smiled maniacally at him, as he says, fucking kill me like you wanted to. Do it. But you don't have the balls, you don't have the gall to fucking do it. You fucking pussy, as he punches the red-headed man across a few feet as he is knocked out. As we see this man sitting down on the seat now, as he stumbles back a few feet into his seat, as he leans back, as he doesn't know what to do no more. As he has the face that he had a second ago that was so filled with life is pretty much dead. As we see him get up, as the daytime is getting pretty down. Let's say the sun is shining down right now, as it's gonna be night soon. As we see him walking to his small little apartment, as we see it happen, him opening his door into this shabby looking apartment, as he scoffs at himself, as we see him looking at turning on the TV, as we see the news talking about the prices going up drastically with food and gas, as he says, goddamn people, these goddamn presidents and the fucking corrupt government, fucking bastards. I can barely afford anything because of this. Oh, because of this fucking corrupt system, he says, as he turns off the TV, as he couldn't even look at it no more, as he hates the fucking news with a passion. It's not only the government that's corrupt, it's the news stations as well that's being fed with profits, that's being told by officials and all that to do stuff, let's say. As he hates everything about the world at the moment. It's the reason why his family he's not gonna call his father family. That bastard went and walked off with the milk. Well, him, his mother, and his sister, his big lovely sister, had to do all they had to do to support themselves. They did all they could until a accident. As he shivers, is thinking about the accident, as he puts his hand over his forehead, as we see a scar scrape across his eyebrow toward his eyelid, the top of his eyelid to the bottom of his eyelid, as we see him just scrape his finger on that scar on his left eye, as he sighs, as we see him pull open a drawer, as we see him pick up a knife, as he sighs while going into his bathroom, as he says, I can't do it no more, Mama. I can't live in a world without you or sister. Big sis. Y'all were the world to me. As we see him go to his go to his bathroom. He turns on the warm water in the bathtub as we see it fill up. It takes some time for it to fill up halfway as he starts the water off, as we see him slowly take off his clothes. He takes off his jacket, his shirt, and his undershirt. And he takes off all of his accessories, even his earrings, as he carefully puts them into place, as he takes off his underwear as well and socks. Then he dips himself into the water, and we see him slit both of his wrists as he lays his head in the back of the bathtub as he sighs, as we see him slowly close his eyes while looking at the wide open door into the bathroom, as we see someone walk into his place. The person has piercing red eyes, and they have green hair. As we see him slowly walk into around the how should I say, the apartment, as the door clicks open for the mysterious person. He closes the front door after him as he looks around into this apartment, until he finally lays his hand upon a open doorway into the bathroom, seeing the boy that he found so interesting from the Fight Club that looked so dead inside, as he found that person quite interesting, as he was on the second story watching all the fights go down, well, having a drink, let's say, as we see this man, or should you call him boy, though he might be a little short, and you can see his white porcelain skin and piercing red eyes with dark green hair, as he smirks while he was watching the fight with the boy with, how should I say, with blonde hair, as he found him fascinating. He didn't know why, but he did. As he looked over at the side of himself, as he and that there's a girl waiting for him, as he slowly starts talking sweet murmurs into her ear as she chuckled, as he quickly was kissing her neck as she was starting to moan, while he was carefully holding her thigh, as her inner thigh, as she kept moaning in pleasure, as we see her look up while moaning into the ceiling, as we see Izuku's eyes pierce red, as we see his fangs stick out with his mouth wide as he sinks his teeth into her neck, as she moaned yet again, though this moan seemed a little different, as it was more of a groan this time, as she started grabbing him a little bit harder. She started grabbing his arm that was holding her head in place, as he started to yelp, as she started scratching any place she could on his back until he let go and her body went limp. As we see her body just roll over into the seat. As we see Izuku moan in pure ecstasy. As he made sure that no one was looking around at what he just did. As he smirked as no one did. As he licked his lips, then his two fangs. As he says, "That was delicious, mademoiselle." As he got up and he walked away. And he walked away from the place he was a second ago. As we see Izuku looking at the blonde boy from the first, let's say, the first story that just had his fight. As we see him just walking off in a daze with a blank face. As he says, "My, don't you seem mighty interesting, Sir Mazel." He chuckled a little bit, just thinking of what he's going to do later on with that boy or man. As that's where we get to now. As we see Izuku pretty much holding the boy's body. As we see that his cuts are clean. Her cuts are closed and he is breathing at a normal pace. As he slowly opened his eyes as he realized he was in his bed, as he thought that he ended it all. As we see him looking around and he sees an unfamiliar figure inside his bedroom. As he tried to move his body, but his body ached so much that he didn't feel like trying to sit up or nothing. He just felt groggy and wanted to go back to sleep. But we see him still looking at the man that is sitting on a seat next to the bed as he is reading a book. As we see him turn a page and then look up, surprised that the Sleeping Beauty is awake. As he quickly smiled as he said, "Well, mademoiselle, how would you feel right now?" As the man in the bed said, "Sleepy." As he says, "That's really understood. I understand, man. I understand, mademoiselle. But I can't help but saw you at the boxing match, your little boxing match that you had. You look so dull. You wanted to escape life. Do you want death so badly? I can give it to you. Never-ending death. Death that will let you forever be, how should I say, a night walker. You will see a life that you have never known and fulfill your destiny." As we see the boy or man in his bed in shock at what this person is saying. as the person says, all you have to do is say the word. I can let you become one of me. You can become someone that is not afraid of nothing. You won't be afraid of nothing anymore. You will become someone that is like me. Someone powerful. Someone that can take what they want. Are you tired of this life that is ruled by others? As he turns on the TV, as you see gas prices and the prices of food getting higher and higher as the year goes by, it barely making people barely afford their expenses, making people go into poverty, like this man himself, as he asks, so what will it be, mademoiselle? As he looked at the man in bed, as we see the man close his eyes, not wanting to look at the TV in pure rage, as he settled his rage for a second, as he nodded his head at the man, making the man smile maniacally as he says, I know you don't know me, but let me tell you my name. I am gonna be your sire. My name is Izuku Lioncourt, and welcome to a life of a vampire. As you see him open his fangs as he bites into Dinky's neck. As that surprised Dinky a lot, as he couldn't move 1 inch, as we see his eyes dull a little bit, very tired, as the man now known as Izuku Lioncourt has pretty much sucked most of his blood, as he doesn't know how he is still awake. As we see Izuku Lioncourt slit his wrist, as he says with a smile, drink up, Dinky, Kaminari. As we see him put his wrist to Dinky's mouth, as we see Izuku's blood slowly pour into Dinky's mouth. Slowly, Dinky's arms start to move and hold on to Izuku's arm into a death grip, as he keeps sucking and sucking until Izuku says, that's okay, my dear, that's okay, that's enough, as he's still drinking, as he brings his hand back, and as he yells, that's enough, as we see him pull his arm, dragging Dinky out of his bed, as he falls onto the ground, as we see Dinky fall onto the ground, as he quickly gets up, as slowly he falls back onto the side of his bed, as he bangs his back on the bed, as he says, what's going on? As Izuku smiles as he says, it's okay, mademoiselle. It will hurt for a second until you will completely change. He smiles pleasantly at his now sire, Dinky, as we see Dinky slowly fall to the ground as his heart is slowly beating slower and slower and slower until his heart stopped beating. It took a few seconds until we see Dinky rise up from the ground, now changed, as he smiles, as he looks around the place, as everything looks so different, as he sees the TV staring right at him, changing positions and then changing once again, as we see everything just different, more vibrant at night, something more different, as Dinky now has pale skin, as he has two sharp canine fangs protruding out, as he looks at Izuku as he's asked, "So this is what it's like to be you, Izuku?" As Izuku nodded as he says, "Yes, my pretty. Now rise up." As he helps Dinky up slowly, as he says, "Even though things might look better in here, just look outside. It's much more beautiful outside." As we see Izuku start walking to the front door, as Dinky follows him. As we see Izuku open the door with Dinky following in, him leaning on a railing, as we see Dinky doing the same as he looks outside, as he sees the beautiful full moon out, as he has never been so mesmerized by something in his life. The moon seems so much more vibrant, more beautiful. He's never seen anything as beautiful as he did that night, as he can clearly see everything better than when he was human, as he can see everything so clearly, even from a far distance, as he felt so liberating, so free. He didn't know what to do that night. He honestly didn't. He honestly didn't know what to do, as Izuku told him, "Do what you feel like. I'll follow you. I'll show you what it's like to be a vampire." As Dinky nods, as Dinky follows Izuku, as we see them walking down the street with some poles, as it's a few blocks away from Dinky's apartment. As we see some people walking to and fro some places, as we see Izuku leaning in a alleyway, waiting for someone to come near the alleyway, as we see after 10 minutes someone actually walking that same street, as right whenever Izuku saw him walk right in front of the alleyway, as we saw Izuku with lightning speed run up to the man and drag him into the darkness of the alleyway, as we see Izuku holding the man's mouth with his hand, as he tells him, "Take your first sip. It is wonderful. The first drink will always be the best. It will be like your first time having sex. Just imagine that." It's like popping your cherry for the first time. As Izuku chuckles after that, as he says, "Oh, I would never forget my first time." As Dinky slowly nodded as he finally felt the effect of being a vampire, as his mouth felt so dry. It felt as dry as sandpaper. He's never had this urge as he's had right now. It just all came right now. He didn't feel it before because everything felt so new to him until he felt the backlash. It all came rushing up to him at once. The pain of the undying thirst for blood. Something that Dinky would soon learn to hate. As we see Dinky bringing his fangs down, as he brings his fangs and bites the person's neck. As we see the person struggling, as we see Dinky holding on to the person with dear life. He has a death grip on them as the person is struggling as Dinky is not letting up. As we see Izuku with a smile on his face as he says, yes, my dearie. This is what it is to be a vampire. To dominate somebody like this. To show them what pathetic lives they have had just to quench ours. Their lives are meant for us to suck out and drain dry. Aren't you glad I gave you the choice that I never had to be a vampire? Dinky Kaminari. As Kaminari at this point is not listening at anything at what Izuku is saying, as all he can think about is his thirst right now. As he completely drained the person dry and ripped his mouth out of the person's neck, spitting out the piece of flesh that he bit down while tearing his neck. As he's breathing in and out, as just like Izuku said, this felt like he popped his cherry, which he found very funny. As he never felt anything like this before. This feels better than popping your cherry or having sex. This is more, he can explain it just better. As he breathed in and out until he finally stops breathing in and out, as he looks at the dead body of the person he just killed. As his eyes went wide, as he looks at Izuku, as he looks back at the person, as he instantly feels regret. As he says, no, I didn't want this. As he quickly went down and trying to carefully place the person up and getting a pose, trying to feel if this person has a pose or not. But Izuku just chuckles as he says, dinky. This is what it is to be a vampire. You gotta get used to killing. Even though your first one might be, you might feel some remorse. After a while, you get used to it. Izuku smiles after saying that, as Dinky looks at Izuku with rage as he says, what? Get used to killing? Get used to this guilt? There's no way. If I stopped feeling guilt, I wouldn't be human no more. If you felt no guilt for killing someone, aren't you just a monster? As Izuku chuckled, no, we're not a monster. We are vampires. Get used to it. This is what we are. I've said this quite a few times, Dinky. And I will keep saying it again. You have to get used to killing. That was your first meal. You get used to it. But Dinky wasn't listening at all, as he felt such overwhelming sense of guilt that he actually killed someone. As he says, no, 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 no. I'm not gonna kill anyone again. No. As he backs away a little bit from Izuku in the body, as his hands are shaking. As he doesn't know what to do no more. As we do a little bit of a time skip. As it has been a few years since Dinky has been turned. And we see him in a mansion, sitting on a dining table, with him on one side of the long table and Izuku on the other side of the long table. As we see all types of food on the table with some maids putting it on the table and whatnot. As we see Izuku chuckle as he says to Dinky, "Wow, this has been quite the interesting few years, hasn't it, Dinky? Kaminari?" As we see Dinky hold his fist under the table as he says, "You condemned me to hell. You did not bring me death. You lied to me. You brought me never-ending suffering of guilt and never-ending thirst, which is another hell." As Izuku chuckled, well, downing some red substance in a wine glass, as he says, "Well, I've said this 100 times. You gotta get used to it, Dinky. Why don't you just fucking get over it?" As we see Izuku setting the table. Once he said that, getting a little bit angrier at Dinky, losing his cool. As he says, "This is what we do, Dinky. I've told you this multiple times. And you're wearing on my patience, Dinky Kaminari. If you don't want to drink human blood, then why don't you try rodents instead?" Yeah, why don't you try that? As we see Izuku get up, as he hears something, a room away from him. As we hear Dinky here as well. As we see Izuku goes to the other room, coming back with a pretty big rat. As he snaps the rat's neck. As he says, while I'm pouring another glass of wine, with quotes or blood, as he brings it closer to Dinky's face, as he says, "This is quite delectable, isn't it, Dinky? I know you want it. drink it. As we see Dinky having a mental crisis with going between having taken a sip of the glass or not, as he has been trying his best to not drink any blood, but it's not working out for him, as he is thirsty, a never-ending thirst. As Izuku brings back the glasses, he says, "Well, be that way." As he puts the glass on the table, as he gets another glass of another wine glass, as he slits the rodent open, pouring every bit of blood he can into the wine glass until the last drop drips. As he throws the rodent somewhere around the room, as he tells him, "You can drink rodents really well. You can drink rodents, but with difficulty. There's a difference between drinking human blood and drinking goddamn rodents or animals." Thank you. Remember that. It's not really living if you're living off of animals. You're not as powerful as when you're drinking normal blood. You should know that by now by watching so many vampire movies and flicks. As he brings the glass to Dinky's lips, as he tips the glass forward or higher for Dinky to actually take a hesitant gulp, as he cringes a little bit, but he's quickly lets go of the wine glass, giving it fully to Dinky, as Dinky licks his lips as he says, "It's bearable. I'd rather take this than any regular blood of any humans." As Izuku walks off to the other side, as he chuckles while holding the glass that he was supposed to give to Dinky of regular blood, as he gulps it down, as he slams on the table, as he says, "Be that way, Dinky. But don't come crying to me when you have had enough of those rodents' blood. I'm not going to hunt for you. You're going to do that for yourself. Remember that, Dinky. Remember that. You're on your own on this. It's so much more fun killing people, drinking their blood. We are hunters." But never mind that. As he gets up and he walks away, as we see Dinky sigh after drinking his last gulp of the rat's blood, as he quickly got up and he says, "I need more." As he went towards the slums of Japan, as he quickly took as many rats as he could and killed them in a bag. As he took a big bag and took as many rats as he could alive, not killing them yet. As no one found him suspicious, as stuff like this usually happens in the slums, where people doing experiments on animals rats, even humans. The slums no one really cared for, so no one bat an eye at looking at Dinky trying to take rats, picking them up. As no one gives a shit about the slums. As Dinky got back to the mansion with a big old bag strapped on his back. As he took one rat after another and sucking them dry one after another as he started having a pile of rats as he sucked all of them dry one after the other, making a big large pile until he was finally done and he was mildly satisfied. As it took that whole thing to be mildly satisfied. The whole thing of that whole bag. As you see his hands and shirt with his mouth all drenched in blood. As he is in his room. Well, he was in his room while he did that. As we see Izuku smirk as he says, "Wow, won't you look at that? Dinky, you actually did what I actually said. That's a first." Wow. You took a lot of sewer rats, didn't you? Wow. But like I said, they would never satisfy you like normal blood, Dinky. They would never satisfy you. As Izuku walks away playfully, as he playfully smirks at Dinky, as he stops mid-tracks, as he walks back from his tracks back into the front of the door, as he turns to look at Dinky with only his t-shirt with some black slacks, as he doesn't have anything else on him, with him covered in blood. Izuku found him delectable, as he smiled, as he got closer to Dinky, as he says, "Dinky." As Dinky was surprised that Izuku got this close, as he jumped in looking at Izuku, as Izuku playfully smiled at him, and he caressed Dinky's cheek as he says, "My, you look very delectable today, Dinky, with that blood all smeared on you. Though it's not really my taste. You do look very hot," he says. Well, he licks a little bit of blood off of Dinky's face, making Dinky red, face when red. As Izuku licked that up into his mouth, as he had a little bit of a bothersome face after eating the blood, but he can't refuse how hot this is, so the disgustingness of the rat's blood wasn't as bothersome as looking at this hot man in front of him. As Izuku picked Dinky up from the floor, holding his back and his ass in a way, pretty much carrying him princess style, let's say, with Dinky face totally red. As we see Izuku toss him to the bed, as he says, "Dinky, it's time. We've been playing this foreplay for quite a while. It's time we get into the meat and potatoes of this Dinky. As Dinky's face is red, as we see Izuku passionately and hotly kiss Dinky as they get into a little bit of a tug of war with their tongues inside their mouth about who's more dominant until Izuku won and Dinky starts moaning in pleasure as we see them get into around 5 to 10 minute makeout session with Izuku finally letting go of the kiss as both of them were panting barely as we see Izuku make kisses on Dinky's neck, slowly going down as we see Izuku tear Dinky's shirt wide open as Dinky took off the rest of his remaining shirt off after Izuku tearing it apart as we see Izuku slowly kiss Dinky all the way down to his abdomen as we see him get to Dinky's pants now. That's now in the way of, let's say, their session as Izuku playfully pulled Dinky's pants off, leaving his underwear as he slowly kissed the top of Dinky's underwear that is in the area of Dinky's dick, let's say, as Izuku just is kissing that area, making Dinky go full on hard, have a full on hard on, as Izuku can easily see the line of Dinky's dick as he smiles playfully as he licks on top of Dinky's pants or underwear, leaving Dinky moaning pleasurably until a few minutes after that Izuku finally took off Dinky's underwear as he pulled his own shirt off and going to kiss Dinky in the mouth yet again as they go on to a full makeout session as we let Dinky do the foreplay now as Dinky pulls Izuku's pants, well, let's say having some fun with Izuku's nipples as he's playing around with Izuku's nipples. Well, he is having a hand job with Izuku's Deku, little Deku, let's say. I'm just going to say dicks, because why fucking not? I'm just going to go full on, because, yeah. We all know that the, what's it fucking called? I'm stopping the, what if, real quick. We all know that, the, Interview with the Vampire is a very sexual, the books were very sexual. Even though the movie wasn't, that, sexual, it did promote it in a way, if you get what I mean. Well, there's a show going on in AMC. That show is full on fucking shows on full on fucking male sex. So yeah, the new show of Interview with a Vampire, that is quite interesting. So it is a mix between that and yeah, the movie. So let's get back to the what if. With me continuing on, my bad. As we see Izuku moaning pleasurably as Dinky is doing the hand job as he slowly fully puts Izuku's hands totally off, as he starts, after the hand job, he starts sucking Izuku's dick, as Izuku is moaning in pleasure, as we see Izuku start holding Dinky's hair a little roughly, as we see them having a little bit of rough foreplay, as they're both totally nude, going full on having sex now, as we see Izuku come into Dinky's mouth, as they both got up, and we see Deku immediately, still hard, putting Dinky down into the bed as he starts licking Dinky's ass. Yeah. This is gonna be 18 plus, fuck. I didn't think I was gonna go here with this story. I honestly didn't think so, but okay. I think I'm gonna do a part 2 of this. I'm actually having so much fun with this. As we see, Izuku licking Dinky's asshole after a few minutes, and him having a hard on yet again, as we see him put his dick in the entrance of Dinky's ass, while Izuku starts playing with Dinky's dick and sucking on it. As after sucking on it and him doing a hand job on Dinky, he asks, "Are you ready for it, darling, mademoiselle?" As Dinky says, "I'm ready." As they both start kissing, a steamy and needy kiss, as we see Izuku slowly put his dick into Dinky's entrance, fully, after a few seconds, fully putting it into Dinky's ass, with Dinky moaning in pleasure, as we see him moaning in Deku's mouth, as Deku smiles, has a wicked smile on his face, as he starts, how should I say, taking his dick out of Dinky's ass and putting it back in, as he starts thrusting harder and harder, making Dinky moan in pleasure, until they get into a very steamy, as they are pretty much breaking the bed at this point. They are making a lot of noises, and this goes on for quite a long time, as this goes on for a whole day and a half, as by this time the bed is fully broken. Yep, the bed is fully broken, and they are just still banging until we see them finally, after we get to now, as we see Dinky pretty much leaning against the wall, as Izuku is thrusting in him some more. They've had quite a few rounds, I'd say, and Dinky is an uncontrollable amount of lust. He's never felt this before. This feels unimaginably amazing. This can't be even compared to any human interaction. This is just on a new level that Dinky has just experienced. As we finally see Izuku come into Dinky yet again, making Dinky moan in pure ecstasy, as they both drop down, panting, as we see them kissing, as we see Izuku smile yet again, as he says, wasn't that inexperience. I haven't had that type of interaction in a century, probably more. God damn. As we are ending this what if on that cliffhanger, I think I'm going to do 2 more parts of this at another time. So yeah, I will make 2 more parts of this. This will be a 3-part series, I think. If I don't finish the story off the 3rd part, it might be a 4-part. It just depends how the story is played out. So I hope you enjoyed this what if. Thank you all for watching, and hope you all have a good day or night, wherever your time zone is. My Marshall family. Hope you have a good day or night, wherever your time zone is, my Marshall family, and peace out.